Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Inside Scoop podcast. I'm your host, Julian Lockhart, and today I've got a great guest with me, the starting fullback for the University of St. Thomas, and a good friend of mine, Landon Reed. Well, thanks for being on, man.
Of course, Julian. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while. It's good to get you on. I know you guys are in fall camp and, very busy as you guys are now, a week away from your first game. We got plenty of questions to talk about. First, I kind of want to start, let's talk about your high school career. You were a three-sport athlete, right? Lacrosse,
Yep.
basketball, and football. Talk to me about your high school career and what ultimately led you to choose to go play college football.
Yeah, so I actually had a pretty interesting road to get to college football. So I played basketball and lacrosse and football freshman year. Didn't play football sophomore, junior year, which is kind of interesting part of the line there. And then played again senior year. But I played basketball and lacrosse all 4 years. So, but I just kind of wanted to. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a basketball player. But when you stay at 6 feet and are a pretty stocky dude, that dream kind of goes away pretty fast. So,
Yeah.
And kind of realized that I miss football a lot and decided to get back into it, and it all kind of worked out and ended up getting to play the next level. So.
Well, I see. I didn't know that about you. That's actually impressive. How you only played 2 years, and you had that 2 year gap. Where I'd imagine there's so much development with football. From sophomore to junior and to senior year. That's actually incredible. Then how you're able to go Division I. I'm curious. St. Thomas. You were part of the inaugural Division I season, and obviously St. Thomas is lucky to have you, and I'm surprised. Talk to me about how they were able to reach you down in Florida, being a school from St. Paul.
Yes, there's a pretty good pipeline. I think St. Thomas is pretty well known, especially in from Naples, where I'm from. So I don't know a bunch of other cities if they're well known, but in Naples for sure, there's a really good pipeline in Southwest Florida. So my head coach in high school knew of Coach Crusoe. There was a couple other guys that had a pretty good hand in helping me get connected, and the coaches ended up reaching out and liked what I had to offer, and I loved what they had to offer, seeing the campus and hearing about all their academics and everything. So it kind of just worked out that way.
Yeah, that's super cool. I always think it's interesting. I know there's a lot more to it, but I've been playing the college football game, and I've been doing dynasty mode, and I've learned there's pipelines with that. Mm-hmm. And I know in-state recruiting is a big thing, but I just think it's interesting, because I was a student at St. Thomas when they were both D3 and then Division I, and I just remember back in the D3 days, they would have primarily guys from Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin, and then I think it's so cool how now they're, getting guys like you from Florida or California or Texas, some of the big states for high school football.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool how the recruiting, expands really nationwide.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit more about the recruiting phase and kind of how that looked like for you, I'm guessing your senior year, since, you didn't play sophomore, junior, talk to me about the recruiting a little bit more.
Yeah, so senior year, and it was COVID too, so it was pretty difficult. We couldn't have any official visits, so I couldn't come up and talk to any of the coaches or really have any communication with them in person on campus. So I had to come up. I came up during October. It was freezing. That was my first intro to Minnesota. I've never been to Minnesota before that. So I had to come up, and me and my dad came up and toured the campus, and I loved it, even though it was kind of that muddy, snow-looking thing that everyone doesn't like. I've come to realize, but I loved it. I thought it was an awesome couple cities here, and that's kind of what sold for me. And then obviously getting to talk to the coaches more, just texting the offensive coordinator, getting to see what Coach Crusoe was about, it kind of sealed the deal for me. So it's a place I wanted to be at.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had that poor experience with, I think, the slush. I think slush is probably the best way to describe it.
That is probably the best way, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, slushy season, it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't stay down in Florida and find somewhere to go play down there or somewhere.
I want to do
south.
something different. It's been awesome.
No, I love it. I do remember a couple of years ago, I remember we talked and you said when it was snowing, this was the first time you've ever seen snow.
Yeah, falling. It was.
And for it falling, and I'm like,
yeah.
that is, because I'm born and raised in Minnesota myself, and I'm like, how do you not know it snow? I mean, and I get Florida doesn't really snow, but
That
I'm
never
like,
snows.
gosh, that is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, talk to me about, well, so you're part of that inaugural class. What does that mean to you to be a part of that first Division One recruiting class for St. Thomas football?
Yeah, I think it means a lot, especially getting to carry on a kind of just a brotherhood at St. Thomas too. I mean, the guys that were here throughout the D3 days dominating the MIAC are the reason we got to jump up to Division One anyway. So it's been a pretty awesome experience getting to kind of be the class to try to carry the torch on to the next classes and everything. And I think we've done an awesome job of transitioning and have just taken every camp, every fall camp, every spring ball, every season, kind of just one by one, and just continue to grow. So it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that, you guys are trying to, continue the legacy of St. Thomas football. I mean, even at the Division III days, there were high expectations. They've been a D3 powerhouse for as long as I can really remember.
Yeah.
I know they were not able to, I'm pretty sure they have not won a national championship, but I know your coach, Caruso, has reached the Division III national championship before, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And, I mean, yeah, you guys had high expectations, even with the transition, no excuses. And I think you guys were successful because the first year St. Thomas went Division One, you guys, I'm pretty sure, were the only team with a winning record. And then, of course, just the following season, you guys won the Pioneer League and, were conference champions. I remember, too, it was a big deal seeing you guys. I'm pretty sure we're FCS ranked.
For a little bit
finish
there.
The season, which was really cool to see. Yeah. Well, talk to me now, for the 2024 season. You're a week away from your first game. Talk to me about the expectations for this year. Are you guys looking to win the conference for a second time? Are you guys looking to get 10-plus wins? Talk to me about your team expectations for, not only just game one, but throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we always expect the St. Thomas standard. So, I mean, we don't really look at it as like we have to win this game, conference championship. That all kind of comes with us just doing what we do best, and that's just being ourselves and playing the game that we know we can play at the best of our ability. So just take it step by step and just do what we do, and all that stuff will come at the end. So it's just exciting to get back into things and start chipping away.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good to take it step by step. You don't want to get too ahead of yourselves. I feel like if you try to, I feel like some programs in college, maybe like more FBS programs, like they'll play like a weaker, like a big boy school, right? Like let's just say it's like University of Texas, and they're playing like an FCS or like a low end like FBS program. And I know like week 2 they have to go to Michigan, and I think it's interesting, like chances are they're probably not going to lose that first game, but they don't want to get too ahead of themselves and focus too far ahead. And I think that's smart, that you guys are taking that approach to take it step by step. Well, I know you guys have had success with winning. Of course, St. Thomas holds the longest Division One home winning streak. Do you know? Is it 32 games? Or is it 30?
I really don't know the answer.
I don't. I honestly, I know it's 30 something. I just remember hearing it when like Clemson, I think last year or 2 years ago, they lost a home game, and then I think that was like officially like St. Thomas has the biggest or the longest active streak. Coming ahead to your schedule, week 2. You guys host a scholarship program in University of Northern Iowa.
Yep.
Talk to me about planning ahead and expectations for that game. That's going to probably be your toughest or one of your toughest games on the schedule. And walk me through what you guys are planning to do to make sure that you continue that at-home winning streak.
Well, they're an extremely talented team, and we got to beat Sioux Falls first. That's our first team we got to play, and we're worried about them. And once we get to UNI, we'll figure that out. But they're good. It's going to be a hard team to play, but we'll figure that out when we get there. I think it'll be a good game. So
Yeah. I'm hoping I actually do want to try to make it out to that game. I know I'll be pretty busy maybe with work because I do a lot of broadcasting and primarily hockey, but I know there's like a ton of hockey tournaments. One thing I've learned with being a broadcaster is hockey's a sport, despite it kind of being considered a winter sport, it's played year round. Obviously, like indoors.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. Like for my company, we cover like a lot of like youth tournaments, not like formal like high school games during the summer, but like there's a plenty of youth and summer leagues, and I think that's so interesting. Just because before broadcasting, I always thought it was just like you played in the winter and then you have like an off season and you don't really do much. But all the rinks they stay busy in Minnesota. I mean,
yes,
they
they
take it
do.
Seriously.
I mean, it is a state of hockey, so.
It is a state of hockey. Yeah, they've earned that. I mean, the hockey here is great. I mean, do you follow hockey much here? I know in Florida, I mean, hey, your Panthers, them, and the Lightning. Are you a Panthers fan?
I am a Panthers fan. Just they're the closer team, so.
Okay. Are they based in Miami?
They're they're in Sunrise, so it's right outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I always I think it's interesting how like there's like they're a team with like a state name, Florida, but then there's also a city in like the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I think that's kind of weird how they have like a city and then a state team. Okay, let's actually talk about some football. I'm sorry, I sidetrack a lot. That's just kind of funny.
I like it. Oh, yeah. It's a sports podcast, right?
This is definitely a sports podcast. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, this is my show. Yeah, this is sports. I actually do want to like expand someday. Like obviously, like I love food. Everyone, it's easy to tell. I would love to be like a food reviewer. Yeah, I get there's so many of them out there. I'm like, there's nothing special about me, but I would love.
Your
to be
podcast name is The Inside Scoop, right?
Yeah.
So
ice cream scoop.
You scoop ice cream. You scoop everything.
I do like ice cream. I actually had a little Ben and Jerry's after my dinner. It was. What's your favorite Ben? Do you eat Ben and Jerry's? You probably shouldn't.
I do. I eat ice cream. I dabble in ice cream. I'm more of a milkshake guy though, so I do. My go-to is a chocolate milkshake with Oreos in it. I get it everywhere I go.
Shit.
That's my thing.
Oh my God, Landon. Chocolate Oreo. See, I'm gonna one up you. I'll do a chocolate Oreo malt with chocolate ice cream.
That's what I do. That's chocolate ice cream. I don't do vanilla ice cream. If it's a chocolate milkshake, you have to have chocolate ice cream.
Okay, I'm glad someone agrees.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like people when they say chocolate milkshake, it's like vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. I'm like, no, like I want. No,
that's not okay.
Okay. See that. I like that. I actually really like that. You just earned a few points. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. I've got a few more questions for you. So we talked a little bit about you and I, and I know you don't want to look ahead too much of the schedule, but I'm curious, what game this season do you look forward to most? Like, it doesn't even have to necessarily be like a super challenging game necessarily, but more so just, is there? I noticed you guys go to Stetson this season for the conference.
They come to us this year.
They are. Oh shit.
Pretty sure. That's not wrong. I think so.
Well, now I
think we went down there last year.
Let's look at the schedule. Oh yeah. No, they come there. Never mind. You guys have a home game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there a game on the schedule you can think of that you look forward to most, and why?
I mean, so for me, they're all exciting. I love getting to play. Like, I look forward to this part of the year every single season. I think it's a great time, and I love getting to play with other guys. But I mean, I know a couple like my best friends from playing basketball with growing up are on UNI from home, so that'd be really fun to see those guys. I think that'll be probably the most exciting, like the most fun thing to get to experience playing them. So
so they play on the team?
Yeah, they play at UNI.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You get to go up against your buddies.
Yeah, it'll be
That's cool. Are they in defense? Or are they going to try to tackle you?
One of them will. The other one's a receiver. So.
I couldn't imagine one of my buddies trying to tackle me. Get that off me, dude.
Yeah,
that's funny. Well, talk to me a little bit about your position. So I'm curious. Each position on the football field, I think, requires different skills, different talents. Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about what makes your position challenging to you. To some people, you might be just seen as you run the ball, or as a fullback, maybe, you're going to be blocking for the running back. But, there's obviously more to it. Talk to me a little bit about, what's challenging about your position.
So I was a running back in high school, so all I did was take a handoff and go run through all the guys that were blocking for me and go score touchdowns or do whatever I had to do. But I got recruited as a fullback and thought it would be a cool thing, a cool fit for me. I thought I had the skill set to do it, and there's a lot. I mean, you got to pretty much be able to do everything. You have to be able to play the wing position. A lot of guys you see in the NFL, like the fullbacks in the NFL now, can play in the slot. They can play in the eye. They can play running back. They can play in wing formations. I think I might have said that, but they catch the ball, run the ball, block. So it's kind of a Swiss Army knife position. But that makes it fun for me. I think it's awesome because I always get to do something different. So I think it's cool.
It's kind of like a Taysom Hill. I think he's more like a tight end, isn't he?
Yeah, it'd be like Kyle Juszczyk, Alec Ingold, all those guys kind of play all over the place and get put in motion, all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Kyle Juszczyk, he's a great fullback.
I
actually like utilizing the fullback in college football 25.
You have to. I'm glad you do.
Oh, I do. No, seriously. Like, I love running. Like, what sucks is I am me and my buddies, we play a dynasty. So the one I would take most seriously, I have 3 dynasties. I have a Minnesota Gopher dynasty.
Yep.
And I've been struggling. I love the Gophers, but they're not as great as they have been for the past few years. I actually have a St. Thomas dynasty. I don't have
really.
There's like a team builder, and oh god, I hope I'm not exposing this person for copyright. But like they have like the logo, like the St. Thomas logo, but I think they're called the Tomcats.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't name you guys the Tommies.
Yeah.
But and then the rosters are all like auto AI generated, so you're not in the game, unfortunately. Quick side note: what if you got to be in the game? What would your overall be?
I'd be listed as a fullback.
No, right. I'm saying your overall, like.
No, I'm saying would I be listed as a fullback or?
Fullback.
Fullback.
Yep. Truthful. Yep.
I think probably I give myself 84, 85. I think that's fair. Maybe an 83.
Okay.
In that range.
Confident.
I think that's fair.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, when you start off on like Road to Glory, I think the highest one you can start off with. Can you start off with an 80 or is it like a 70?
See, I actually don't play Road to Glory.
Oh, I forget. But I think it's like I don't know, I forget. But I think an 83 is fair.
83? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think that's realistic overall for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'd be like if I had to go in as like an offensive lineman, I'd probably be like a 30.
As a guard, you think, or a center? What are you playing?
Oh, guard. I'm not snapping the ball. No.
Well, but a guard, you're gonna have to pull though. Can you do some pulls and get out of the?
Maybe.
And get out and go kick out somebody.
Not efficiently. I mean, I can maybe
Well, I guess that's why you're a 30, right? That's why you gave yourself a 30.
30.
Okay. Fair enough.
Probably a 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do too much. I would be the 100th. If you guys have 110 on the roster, I'd be 111.
Hey, roster's roster.
Oh, I think it's funny. Somehow like St. John's. I know you guys never got to at least you didn't get to play him. But St. Thomas, old D3 rivalry, St. John's. I mean, like this is before the final cut. Obviously, I mean, they'll have hundreds of guys try out and like
a lot, yeah.
Practice guys. I mean, and it's just so crazy. And I literally have thought I've never thought about trying out, but I'm like, I literally bet you I could, if I really wanted to, I could go at least and try out there.
Oh, I'm sure you could try out. I think they're probably open, right? I've never experienced it. I don't know, but from what I've heard, I think they're open. I don't know.
I mean, I don't really want to play.
Look into that. You have some eligibility left, don't you, or no?
I got 4 years of eligibility.
There you go.
But I don't know how I feel. I'm about to turn 24 this next month, and so what? If I used all 4, I'd be at my senior year. I'd be 28.
Yeah, you can start training this season and work into next season. You could find a spot to go play.
No, I might have to. And then maybe try to transfer. My goal is maybe go play D3 and then, maybe try to go earn a spot in St. Thomas. Maybe cut down a little bit, be the next fullback.
Sure, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's actually get to seriousness. So one thing I saw And I'm curious to know. So I was looking at the preseason all-conference list, and I saw you made preseason all-conference. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm curious. I guess these two kind of tie in together. How are you going to – I think there's some pressure there, right? You have a high expectation. The bar is set high for you. Talk to me about how you're going to overcome that pressure and make sure, not only you start as an all-conference, level fullback, but you finish all-conference. And talk to me about, too, the mental part of that, right? With mental health, how does that impact that? How do you overcome pressure, whether that's from coaches, your friends, your family, the fans, whoever it may be.
Yeah. Well, good question. I think about, like, that stuff's great to have, like preseason, whatever, conference, all that kind of stuff. But I really play football because I love football, and I love to play with the guys I play with. So, I really just kind of go into every game focused on doing what I do best, and that's playing football and playing my position and helping the running backs get holes and helping everybody score touchdowns and helping everybody get wins. So, as long as I do that, that's a good season for me, and all the other stuff will come with all that. So.
Well, it seems like you're a good team player, which is, every team needs that. I guess I was just curious because I knew a kid at St. Thomas. He transferred out and plays, I think, he played baseball. And for his freshman year, he was like preseason, like freshman of the year for the Summit League for baseball. And I remember I kind of talking to him about it. I was like, like congratulations, that's great. And he's like, well, like, thank you, but it's a lot of pressure because now it's like I only see there's a way down because now it's like, well, I'm expected to finish, the best freshman in the conference, and it's like, well, now if I don't, it's like it's kind of viewed as, an underwhelming season. So I just wasn't sure, kind of how you felt about that.
But that's a fair question.
Yeah. Well, I guess talk to me a little bit more about it seems like you've got a good, mental grasp for the game, and maybe there's not a ton of pressure, on you, but I am just curious because I feel like for someone outside of the game who hasn't really played, especially at a high level, like you are, the pressure I feel like would just get to me, and I even see it like with broadcasting. Like I'll see like these 10-year-olds be playing hockey and parents are yelling and screaming, and people get really into it, which I get it, if people get, and I'm big into sports too, but are you saying like you don't really have any pressure? Because I feel like I would have pressure like from my buddies because like they want to see you do well, and then your parents because you want to impress them, and then maybe your girlfriend or whatever, right? You want to look good in front of her. And then the fans, because, they want you to win, especially the sports bettors. You might not really care about them. And I don't know how many people are really betting on St. Thomas. But, you want to win them the money. And then I think maybe most importantly, for yourself, I think you want to see yourself succeed. And, I think the coaches, they want what's best for you. I guess if you don't mind maybe elaborating a little bit on that.
Yeah, so, like all the things you named that give you pressure are things that don't come from yourself, really. Like it's fans, bettors, you name it. They're all things that other people do that I think if you allow to get to you and allow other people to change your way of thinking or change your way of playing the game, that's what causes all that pressure. But for me, like I'm worried about me and the guys in my locker room, and all those guys know what I have to do. All those guys know what they have to do just to win a game, to have a successful play. They know that I'm going to do my part in getting that successful play. So I think that's really all that matters when it comes down to it, is like we're all kind of just in the game together doing our little pieces to get a win. Mm-hmm. So that kind of takes away the pressure aspect and kind of puts it into more of like a brotherhood team perspective, and we're just in it together. So I think that's probably how I go about it and the best way that for me to go about it. And again, that's a learning curve too. Like young kids don't really understand. I never understood that really till I think high school. That's when I learned that that's kind of like outside pressure doesn't really have that much of a impact unless you let it. But it's a learned trait, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think again that's a great way to look at it. I feel like I would have so much pressure. Like I'm not a very competitive guy, and
Yeah.
I think I'd fold under the pressure,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think it takes a humbled and and a good soul to see that. Um, well, now I'm curious. Move a little bit. So do you play the college football game?
Oh, I play a lot of the college football game when I get time. It's been rough the last
When you
few
get
weeks
time.
because we've been season, but
Yeah.
before season I was ripping it all the time. It's great.
Who's your favorite team to play as?
Oh, since there is no St. Thomas in the game, because that would be my answer. I love Texas's playbook. I think they're fun
yeah?
to play with, and I also love
Texas.
Oregon's playbook. They're fun to
Oregon?
play with too.
Okay.
So those are probably my favorite two.
Texas and Oregon, of course. So the teams that are good.
Yeah. Well, they're good because they have good playbooks.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, but I think they have just tremendous amounts of money and with NIL that they're getting these all
Oh,
these
absolutely.
great
But
players
I'm talking college football though, college football. Because some teams I think some of the lower level teams they might have more in their playbook than the game really shows. But I think
Okay.
they went all out to make those teams have all the tricks and reverses and bells and whistles and stuff. So it's
Okay.
fun.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the first game I ever played on, the first team I used was Oregon. I played Ohio
Yeah.
State, and I didn't realize how good. Ohio State's a cheat code in the game.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're really good. I haven't really played a ton of the really good teams. I'm just kind of stayed strictly to Minnesota, and then my other buddies we're in the Mountain West, so I'm
Yep.
BYU. My first season, I made the semifinals. BYU,
Nice.
they're a cool team to play
Yeah.
I love the dynasty and just the recruiting process with the transfer portal and then getting guys out of high school. I wish with some of the big boy schools, and oh god, I hope someone doesn't get mad at me, but I know that schools pay athletes to come there. Not talking about St. Thomas by any means, but Texas, Alabama, Georgia, the big boy SEC schools, and I kind of wish I was able to do that in the game. I kind of remember I saw a clip of it was a guy posing as Idaho State. I don't even know if they're in the game, but I think he was just how did you get 8 5-star recruits to Idaho State? And it was is any of this legal? And it was a clip of Wolf of Wall Street, and he was absolutely fucking not. I just think that's just kind of funny. Okay, well, that's all I really have for you, man. It was good to have you on again. Good luck to you and the Tommies this season. I hope to make it out to that UNI game. Otherwise,
I hope you make it out to more than that game, Julian.
See, I'm going to try. I'm really going to try. It's tough. I moved in with my girlfriend.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so and we're in kind of I don't even know if we really want to call it a suburb, but I'm 45 minutes away from St. Thomas now. So I'm a little far.
That's quite the hike.
It is quite the hike. And with work, working in sports, I think that's the one unfortunate thing. I'm still recording, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But we're going to keep this in. I think it's tough. It's tough to I love sports, and I wanted to get into this. I think it's tough because I don't get to watch many sport games, and I'm not working it. I don't really get to enjoy many sports games as a fan. Do you get to do that at all? Do you really have time to go to sporting events anymore?
I mean, no. I'll go to the occasional. I like going to the men's basketball games here.
Oh yeah.
And some of the women's ones too. When I'm off, sometimes they're at night after practice. I'll go to a couple of those. I love going to Dolphins games, the Miami Dolphins. So when I'm home and they're playing, I'll go to a couple of those. But those are that's it really. I don't because football is my favorite thing to watch, but it's kind of hard when you play every weekend and everything. So
it's tough to watch it, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know you're a Dolphins fan. If you got to play for an NFL team, would it be the Dolphins? If you got to choose
Absolutely.
any? Absolutely. Okay.
You see the flag back here.
Well, of course. Yeah. But the Dolphins, they're going to be good. I'm excited. I think I've been doing a lot of fantasy football. I'm excited. I had Tyreek Hill last year, and he was phenomenal for me.
He is
I'm really high on Devon A. Chain this season. I think he's going to be a really good running back. I think Tua is a good quarterback. He kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson, where he starts out really well, and then, I don't know, the second half of the season sometimes is a little shaky for him.
Yeah. I've stopped trying to stand up for him. I just watch and hope that they can put it together one of these years.
That's how I feel about for the Vikings, honestly. And I mean, people are, I don't know how much you follow the Vikings. People are underestimating the Vikings, I think. I mean, I'm seeing them getting rated as the worst team in the NFC North, and it kind of pisses me off. And I get it. You know, there's no Kirk Cousins. The quarterback situation's a little shaky, but, you know, we got an upgrade to an offensive line. We had a few. I mean, I love the Dallas Turner out of Alabama pick. I think he's going to make an impact right away. We've got some good defensive line and linebackers, safeties too. I mean, I'm happy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great as long as you're happy.
Oh, yeah. Didn't I'm thinking of the Buffalo Bills. Doesn't the Miami Dolphins, don't they have a good linebacker?
They did in Jerome Baker. I think he's gone now. You're thinking of Matt Milano, I think, on the Bills. Yeah.
Is it Bills?
He got hurt.
I was gonna say I saw he got hurt, and I was like, because was he on the Dolphins before, or am I just tripping?
No. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Now I look like an idiot. Oh shit.
Okay. I don't think he was, at least.
Oh god. Who am I thinking? Who was a really good Dolphins linebacker recently?
Andrew Van Ginkel was on the Dolphins.
Yeah. He's on the Vikings.
I think he's on. Yeah.
Yeah. We go.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, kind of glad we got to talk a little NFL too. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Landon. I really appreciate it. This has been another episode of the Inside Scoop. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Julian Lockhart. Good luck this season to you, Landon.
Thank you, and thanks for having me too.
Yeah. Thank you.